Everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Daniel is in the house on this morning. Not morning, afternoon. Where's my glasses? I just put them oh, they're right here. I just came home from school today. And I had fun. It was a PSD day. We got out of school early. We got out at 11:40 a.m. And most of my friends ain't come to school. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all little black bastards. Y'all know who y'all are. Y'all should have came to school and had no business being at home. Could have been at school. It wasn't even that long. 50 minutes each class, 4 classes. Speaking of school today, I'm gonna be telling y'all a little story time on my experience of not having diarrhea, of having, what's it called? Dehydration. So this story takes place long time ago, because you know I'm ancient. Long time ago. It was in the 6th grade. I remember it was 5th period science class. I remember that day, before I had went to school and everything, I normally drink a lot of water in the morning, especially when I eat breakfast, because y'all know as of right now I'm vegan. But back then, before I was vegan, like, I used to eat fish and grits. Like, I ate the typical black southern soul food breakfast. Fish and grits. My parents would cook fish and grits, chicken and grits, cheese grits, eggs, sausage, bacon, all of the galore, pancakes, waffle. Like, I used to eat. When I tell you, my parents used to feed me and my brother for school, they fed us. But I can't do that no more because, you know, I'm on my vegan diet. I got class now. What is fish? What is grits? Like, what is fried chicken? I miss it so much. I used to be eating a lot, and when I ate those foods in the morning, I usually drink water. On this particular day, I didn't drink any water. And on top of that, that whole week, I didn't really drink a lot of water. And, you know, according to science, you have to have 4 bottles of water a day. And I drink at least 16 a day. So don't even come for me now. But before I wasn't drinking like 4 bottles of water a day. I was drinking like about 4 cans of soda a day. Sprite, Coca-Cola, but not water. So that whole week, I wasn't really drinking too much water. I was drinking juice, soda, stuff like that. So that morning, I didn't drink any water. So 5th period comes around. Science class. I'm sitting in science class and the teacher, she teaching. I'm just sitting there writing down my notes with my head next to the window, writing down whatever she was talking about. And all of a sudden, I remember I started to feel this headache. I started to feel it was like a headache. It was like pulsing in my head. I didn't think too much of it. You know, I'm just thinking, oh, this is just a normal headache. It'll go away if I like eat something. Because this was right before lunch. So I'm like, okay, I'll do it go away if I eat something, whatever the case may be. So I just, you know, I propped my fist on my head and I started writing down notes and paying attention to the class and, you know, whatever the case may be. And as I sat there with my head on my hand, I realized, oh, wait a minute, this headache getting a little strong. This headache getting a little strong. And I remember, like, time was going by, like, by the minute, my head was, like, pulsing. Like, my forehead and my sides of my head were pulsing. And I'm like, hold on, is my head about to explode? Like, wait a minute. And I started praying. I said, Father, in the name of Jesus. I said, Lord, don't let my head explode, because it was pulsing. If you looked at the side of my head, you can see my veins like pulsing. So I'm really sitting there getting concerned. I'm like, okay, wait a minute now. My head was pulsing, and that was one of the worst headaches I ever had in my life. I thought I had a migraine for a second. Like, it was so bad. And then on top of that, I started to feel a little something going on in my stomach. I started to feel a little rumble in my tummy. And I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. I done went from the headache to the rumble in the tummy. What is happening? Lord, help me, Jesus. As the minutes went by, I raised my hand. I said, Miss such and such, can I please go to the nurse office? I do not feel well at all. And she could tell by the way how I looked, I did not look good at all. So she gave me a pass to go to the nurse office. So as I'm walking, and mind you, where my classroom was for the science building, it was on the 3rd floor of the, it was one of the buildings we had at our middle school. It had 3 floors, and it was in the back of not the back, but like the side back, if that makes sense. Because our school, you enter in this way, The front office is all the way on the corner on the other side of the school. The gym and like the basketball on the field is on that side of the school. And like straight forward is like a big science building, and then behind that science building is the neighborhood. But right before the neighborhood is the bus loop over there. Our school was kind of weirdly set up now that I think about it, because the front office was on the side of the school. The entrance to the school was over here. Don't ask me, Chad. So I had to walk from this side of the school all the way to this side plus forward. And that's where the cafeteria and front office was. So I had to walk down 3 flights of steps, go all the way to the other side of the school and front over there to the front office. And on my journey there, when I tell you, I felt like it was literally at one point, I felt like I was going to poop and throw up at the same time. I'm like, coming out of both holes. Like, I just felt like I was just gonna explode. Like, I felt like everything was just gonna come out of my body, because it felt like I had diarrhea and then my head was hurting. I said, if God forbid, if I throw up and poop on this floor on the ground, so be it, or whatever. At least I tried. So I finally got to the office, and I got to the front office, and the front desk lady, I put my elbow on the front desk, and I looked at her and said, "Ma'am, find me a nurse." And she said, "Right this way, sir." And so she could tell I was like miserable. So I got to the nurse office. The nurse office was around the corner from the entrance. So I went around down the hall, went around the corner, and went right there to the nurse office. Knocked on the door, and she let me in. I said, "Nurse, help me, please." So she saw that I was like in like just terrible. So she took my temperature, she like checked everything, and she finally came, and like a couple seconds later, about a minute and a half later, she came up with the conclusion. It was like, okay, so basically from what, because I had to explain to her everything that happened. So she came up with the conclusion. It was like, okay, basically you're dehydrated. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, do you drink any waters? I say, I do, but as of recently, I haven't been drinking that much. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been drinking that many bottles of water a day. And she was like, you need to start drinking more water. So after that whole conversation, she was just telling me everything that was going on. So I can't really remember if she called my mom or if she was about to call she was about to call my mom. So I remember I was sitting there, because I was sitting in a chair, and mind you, it was like 2 or 3 other students in that nurse office in the same room with me. So they just sitting there in like shock, looking at me. They thought I was probably turning into a zombie by the way how I was acting. I was like, "Oh, nurse, help me, nurse. I'm so tired, Lord Jesus." They thought I was turning into the Walking Dead probably. So I'm sitting there looking like the deflated Walking Dead, and blew up because I was big. So they probably thought I looked like the bigger version of Walking Dead, sitting in there looking like this. And I could tell they was like scared of me. So after a while of sitting in that chair, I said, "Nurse, I need to lay down," because it was a bed and nobody was. I said, "Nurse, can I lay down, please?" Because I remember I started to feel so terrible. And I just said, "Nurse, let me lay down. Please. Let me lay down." So I laid down on the bed. And she asked me, she was like, "Do you want me to call your mom or anybody?" I was like, "Please call somebody to come pick me up, because I can't do this, child. I need to go home and drink some water and take some medications and eat something." So as I'm laying in the bed, she asked me that. I said yes. And she goes into her other little room and to go call my mom. I started to feel this strange feeling in my stomach. And I'm the type of person, I can tell like 30 seconds before I actually throw up. I can tell 30 seconds prior that I'm about to throw up. And I started to feel that feeling. Now, sometimes I'll feel that feeling and it doesn't actually happen. But it's weird because I can tell, I don't know how to describe it. I can tell when I have that feeling, but I'm not going to throw up. But I can tell when I have that feeling, I actually am about to throw up. And for some reason, I had that feeling, but I couldn't tell whether I was about to throw up or not. But then after a while, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to throw up." So I said, "Nurse," I'm laying on the side of the bed like this. I said, "Nurse, nurse." And the other 2-3 people in there, they're looking at me. They was like, "Nurse, nurse, he needs help." I said, "Nurse, nurse." She came back in there. I said, "Ma'am, give me that trash can right there. Give me that trash can right there. Please hurry up. So she went and got the trash can. Before she could grab the trash can, I don't know how I didn't feel it. All of a sudden, just throw up went everywhere. And mind you, I was laying sideways on the bed facing like the 3 people and the nurse. So I threw up all over the floor near them. I threw up all over the side of my shirt. I think I threw up on my book bag because my book bag was right below me because I had settled on the floor right next to the bed next to me. So I just, when I tell you that was so much throw up, it was disgusting. I threw up everywhere. And the people, they was like, they're looking at me like, what's wrong with you? Like, is you okay? Is you, like, are you actually turning to a zombie? I remember the little girl, not the little girl, but the girl in there, she looked at me and she asked me, she's like, are you okay? Like, are you all right? And I was like, no. Do you see, like, everything going on? And you gonna ask me if I'm okay? Do I look okay to you? So, I threw up everywhere, and thank God that my auntie, she literally lived on the house on the next street down. So she could literally walk 30 seconds to the front office because, like I said, the front office is on the side front of the school, and right there across the street on the other side is her house. So she can literally walk a 30-second walk, just come around the corner and go straight across the street right there to the front office. So I said, call my auntie, because she need to come pick me up because I can't do this, Jesus. So my auntie came about 2 minutes later. And mind you, I had throw up all over my shirt and in my book bag. So as I'm walking out of the nurse tells me that my aunt is here. So I come out of the office and I walk down the hallway. All I see when I walk down the hallway is students in front of me and staff next to me in the other office rooms, because you got to pass multiple office doors to get to the actual nurse office. So as I'm walking by, they looking at me like, oh, and other students looking at me like, oh, and it was a whole bunch of students, and all of them, they like, oh. So I finally get out to the front door, and my aunt, I bend the corner, and my aunt see me. She was like, what the hell? And I told her everything that happened. And we walked to her house. I took a shower at her house, and my mom came and picked me up. And I was dehydrated. So I went home, I ate a lot of food, I drank a lot of water, and wham, bam, yes, ma'am, I was healthy again. So, yeah, that was my experience with having dehydration, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I will see y'all in the next video. Remember to stay blessed, stay not pressed, and be happy. Don't let anybody tell you what to do. Do you, nigga. Have a great day. God bless you. Amen.